2022 Lexus RX 350 SUV. With its combination of impressive attention to detail, interior appointments and practicality, the Lexus RX 350 has long been an attractive proposition in the luxury SUV scene. Though its bold styling might be a deterrent to some, the harsh and busy ride of the F-Sport might be the RX 350's biggest misstep. The optional Mark Levinson audio system and well-calibrated driver aids help take the edge off any commute. Outright performance isn't the name of the RX 350's game, even in F-Sport trim. But when it comes to merging on a highway or overtaking slower traffic, the smooth and powerful V6 engine gets the job done. Accelerating to 60 miles per hour takes 7.9 seconds, which isn't as quick as most competitors but is plenty adequate. More aggressive drivers will want to opt for the all-wheel drive for its superior traction. The F-Sport reduces body roll, but handling isn't really improved. The tires are the main letdown, but the Lexus can still confidently handle a twisty road. The brakes provide easy and smooth stopping power. The transmission is a little too eager to shift to a higher gear, but it does its work almost transparently. Comfort is paramount in a Lexus, and the RX 350 is generally excellent. The RX 350 can definitely take the edge off a long commute thanks to well-insulated windows, impressively comfortable seats covered in supple leather, and an effective and easy-to-use climate control system. The only real negative, and it could be a deal-breaker, comes in the F-Sport trim. In the attempt to achieve sportier handling, it throws any semblance of a relaxing ride right out the window. Moderately chewed-up roads will bounce and jitter occupants about in a very un-Lexus-like manner, and larger potholes can be jarring. We'd recommend steering clear of the F-Sport. Even though the base of the windshield looks to be pretty far away, the dashboard and all major controls fall easily to hand. The buttons are on the large side, clearly labeled and easy to press, and most everything you touch feels well engineered and well considered. All passengers will appreciate the large square door openings, and there's plenty of room for tall people in the front and the back. Even the panoramic sunroof doesn't take away much headroom. Many systems can't be fully accessed without using the touchscreen or the accompanying touchpad interface, but we appreciate having a choice. Navigating the menus is relatively simple but can't be done as fluidly as you can in a BMW or a Mercedes. Lexus Mark Levinson stereos are always a high point, and the big infotainment screen is crisp and appealing. Lexus Inform app has a handful of useful features, but it only integrates a limited selection of third-party apps. Android Auto and Apple CarPlay smartphone integration operates fine for the most part, though some of our Android users experienced issues with some apps missing and sometimes had no functionality at all. Charging options are available for the first 2 rows, with a generous 6 USBs total. Thanks to the abundance of well-labeled buttons, you can often sidestep the somewhat formal and command-heavy voice control system. Driver aids are well calibrated, and we didn't have any false alarms or overreactions, though we would like the adaptive cruise control to be a bit more responsive to traffic flow. Thanks to its 2-row configuration, there's always a good amount of storage, 18.4 cubic feet, in the trunk of the RX 350. That's not as big as some other midsize SUVs, but it's decent. And with 40/20/40 split folding rear seats, this luxury SUV has flexibility to carry an assortment of goods. It's even rated to tow 3,500 pounds, which, though far from class-leading, is enough for a small trailer with a motorcycle or 2. Passengers get a fair amount of well-thought-out storage for personal items, even including a cup holder whose depth can be adjusted for taller mugs. Child seats will also have ample room for attachment thanks to the large door openings and plenty of rear legroom. The front-wheel drive RX 350, with an EPA estimated 23 mpg combined, 20 city, 27 highway, does little to distinguish itself in a competitive class. Our 115-mile highway heavy evaluation loop returned just under 22 mpg, and to be honest we expected a bit more. On the plus side, the V6 engine doesn't require premium fuel unlike a lot of its turbocharged rivals. Fit and finish on the RX 350 leaves almost nothing to be desired, both inside and out. It's a rare moment when you come in contact with something other than leather or soft-touch plastics. Many manufacturers lack this level of attention to detail. But the price teetered on the edge of $60,000 for our optioned-up F-Sport test vehicle. Should you be able to go without some optional equipment, the standard RX 350 starts around $45,000. We weren't overly impressed by the fuel economy we observed, but the warranties offered are good for the class and there's roadside assistance for 4 years with unlimited miles. Provided you don't spend the money on the misguided F-Sport, the RX 350 is an impressively comfortable and serene place to spend your time. All passengers feel immediately at home in its spacious and well-equipped interior, and you'll start to wonder why even the gas pedal feels so good to the bottom of your shoe. The RX simply exudes quality. But the F-Sport gives that serenity a good and constant shaking and manages to upset a fairly luxurious experience. So too does the odd infotainment interface. It's been a source of frustration since its introduction. Thankfully you can get an RX without the stiff suspension and still revel in that excellent Mark Levinson audio system. The Lexus RX has long been the quiet and comfortable choice in the luxury crossover SUV segment. The RX has for the most part kept up with the changing demands of the luxury SUV buyer. Beyond the standard RX 350, there's a long wheelbase version, RX 350L, as well as a hybrid variant, RX 450h, both of which are reviewed separately. This current generation RX 350 is nearing the end of its run. It's been around since the 2016 model year, but it still offers a well-built, comfortable interior and remains a good value for your money.